What the Feminism is a well researched podcast which sheds light on intersectional feminism in India. Though recommended for everyone, it is largely aimed at South Asian audiences. If anyone is hurt by any feminist comment made in this podcast, we advise you to get checked for a possible condition of misogyny, misandry, homophobia, or something of that sort. Our socials are always open for suggestions or messages. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hi, guys, I'm your host, Ira, and you're listening to What the Feminism. Okay, I know I realize that it's been forever since I released the first episode, but I'm seriously trying to keep up with all the work around me. Anyways, this is the second episode, and as the title suggests, we'll be discussing female infanticides and female foeticides in India. This topic may be depressing to some people, so if you feel that you are not comfortable with it, then maybe this is a good place to stop. So, before starting, I think I should clear out the difference between infanticide and foeticide because I'll be using these terms throughout this episode. So, infanticide means killing a newborn, which means killing a child after it is born, while foeticide is when a fetus is killed, basically, abortion. Now, when I add the word female to both of these terms, it implies that a child is being killed because it's a female. By the way, it is illegal to determine the sex of an unborn child in India. But of course, when have laws stopped anyone from doing anything in this country? Anyways, I hope this was clear to you, and let's move on. Before we begin, it is important to note that there is very limited data concerning infanticides and foeticides. It is largely underreported and there's a lack of reliable data. Therefore, there are a lot of theories behind this, and we'll cover them briefly. Infanticides have a history spanning centuries. It was first recorded in the colonial period in 1789. Marvin Harris, an anthropologist, said that these killings occurred among the Rajputs and other elite landowning and warrior groups. It mainly happened because female children were devalued in society and because of other economic reasons, such as dowry. Unlike Harris, some sociobiologists thought that more children would be gained with the support of the male offsprings. They viewed infanticide as a means of expanding the population. Kristen Hawkes, another anthropologist, opposed these two theories and pointed out that the quickest way to maximize the population was to have more females as childbearers. Some of the theorized causes for infanticide are poverty, the dowry system, births to unmarried women, deformed infants, famine, lack of support services, and maternal illnesses. After this comes the question of the reliability of colonial reports. The British were well acquainted with elite Indians and thus were resistant to look deeply into their private affairs, such as the practice of infanticide. They also never tried to understand the poverty and frustrations of their Indian subjects. So it comes to as no surprise that there was a very distorted construction of Indian culture under the British Raj. From 1881 to 1941, demographic data shows India had excess males overall in all those years, especially in north and western regions. South India, however, had more females, probably because of customs like matriarchy and emigration. Although infanticide has been criminalized in India, it remains an underreported crime due to the lack of reliable data. In 2010, the National Crime Records Bureau reported approximately 100 male and female infanticides, producing an official rate of less than one case of infanticide per million people. It is still practiced. In fact, the highest number of infanticide cases reported in 2020 was Tamil Nadu, with 17 cases. But remember, these are just the reported ones. Foeticides are comparatively new. In the 1970s, when medical diagnostic testing using ultrasounds became available to determine the sex of a fetus during pregnancy, India is estimated to have about 63 million fewer women. After feticides skyrocketed in the 1990s, the Indian government passed the Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act 1994, which made it illegal to determine the sex of a fetus unless it was necessary for urgent medical reasons. The root causes for female feticide are from patriarchal notions. Girls are valued less in society, and parents have the idea that sons will bring them more pride. Boys are more likely to receive better quality treatment and food. Economically, girls have been viewed as a burden, especially for marriage. Even after the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, the dowry system is widely practiced and there are many euphemisms for it. Moreover, when women are married young, they often lack educational and financial stability. Their lives are controlled and they aren't confident or independent enough to make decisions about their pregnancy. India's political culture has also not helped. With the rise of Hindu politics, womanhood has been restricted to the roles of wives and mothers. All this tells that female feticides and infanticides are multifaceted, with cultural, economic, and political factors. Since feticides and infanticides are so layered, it is important to tackle their root cause, which lie in our society's patriarchal mindset, unfair treatment of women, and political propaganda. The government must strengthen its laws and enforce them responsibly. Although people are becoming more aware, it would take a combined effort of civilians, administrators, and movements to reach a stage when daughters aren't seen as a marriage card but as a strong and confident individual of her own. Alright, guys, that is it for this episode. I hope you liked it. If you have any message, please do not hesitate in contacting us. I've put all the research links, including the link to our socials, so please make sure to check that out. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Take care, bye.